Hi there! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be me freaking out about The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I'm just going to start off saying that this book came out 4 years ago. So John Green, you need to hurry it up with more books because his books are they're just amazing overall. So the book overall I thought was, it was sarcastic, it was funny, it was very relatable, and not just to the topic of cancer, but to, different topics as far as life goes. And it was mostly because of the inner dialogue that the main character had. Her name is Hazel Grace Lancaster. And you see, the story through her point of view. So it was a first person point of view kind of thing. So it was her internal dialogue and her just being forced to do stuff that she didn't want to do. And it was mostly her mom that, was being a mom. How your mom goes, oh, you have to go to this doctor's appointment, or you have to go to that dentist appointment. Hazel's mom was just doing mom things, trying to take care of her daughter. But it was an added amount of pressure because Hazel Grace had terminal cancer. What terminal means is that eventually she is going to die. No matter if it was tomorrow or if it's, 10 years from now, Hazel is going to die, and that's kind of the unfortunate thing about the book. So the overall plot line of The Fault in Our Stars is that it's a story about a teenage girl. Her name is Hazel Grace Lancaster. She's about 17, 18 years old, I would say, and she knows that she's dying of cancer. She knows ever since she was at a young age, and one of the things that her mom forced her to do was go to therapy sessions in the literal heart of Jesus. That's how it's explained in the book. And it was just a basement in a church that it had, Jesus on the carpet with the heart and everything. She goes to this meeting and she meets this boy. And his name is Augustus Waters, and I'm just going to start out saying that he is the picture-perfect boyfriend that almost every girl dreams of. He was caring, he was smart, he was sarcastic. Since it was a book, the descriptions were kind of hard to come across, but I could just tell that he was good looking. So looks were all there for it. And so Gus takes Hazel on this adventure throughout the entire book and makes her realize that life isn't so bad. Life isn't as crappy as she thinks it is. And he helps her realize that, and it's just beyond awesome. Parts of the book that I really, really liked were, so with Gus, he was funny, he was sarcastic, he was cute, as I, stated before. But it was also how he treated Hazel. And it wasn't just, I'm going to treat you different because you have cancer, because he knew as well, he's had cancer before, so he knows how everybody treats him, and he didn't like it. So he's like, why would I treat you any different than human? And that's what he did, and that's exactly what Hazel needed in her life during that point. He treated her like a freaking princess, and that was awesome of him. So my favorite parts was the egg story with Isaac, Gus and Hazel egging Isaac's ex-girlfriend's house, and Gus's reaction to the mom coming out, and she was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. And he listed, what was wrong with each of them. And he's like, I think you better go back inside. And she did, but she realized that was her little girl's ex-boyfriend. So she better take a step back. And let me just say about the ex-girlfriend, she was a jerk for treating Isaac the way that she did, for dumping him just because he wouldn't give her that same love and affection that he did before. And that's what sucked about the girlfriend. I can see why John Green did it, and I think it was because, no matter who you are, no matter what happens to you, you're gonna have moments in your life where things are just gonna suck for you and you think there's no use for living, but then something happens and you're like, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep going. And that's what Isaac was going through, was his girlfriend broke up with him, but Gus was like, you know what, there's better things for you to do. Take out your anger on my stuff that I don't care about anymore. And, let's go get revenge on this girl. And it made Isaac feel a lot better about himself. And I was like, I applaud you, Gus, for doing that for your friend. This may seem kind of backwards, but my most favorite part was the funeral, both the fake and the real one. By the fake one, I mean the one that they had for Gus when he was actually able to see his own funeral. How he planned it to have the closest people there saying their eulogy, and how they feel about him with him sitting there instead of him in a casket or in an urn. You know, he's actually able to see his own funeral. And I thought that was very sweet of Hazel and Isaac to just roll with it, to go along with it. And I was just like, good for you guys, because you are helping out your friend. And it was very sweet and very touching and moving. And that was one of the parts that I like cried like a baby at, was the eulogy that Hazel gave to Gus, and how she said, you gave me forever in a certain amount of days. And I was like, oh my God, you know, you wish you had someone do that for you at such a young age. Finally, my least favorite part was obviously Gus's death. He left so soon, and he left so many people heartbroken. And it wasn't just his parents, but it was also Hazel Grace, because she realized that the one person that she could count on, the one person that could really make her happy, is gone. And I know what that feels like, because my grandfather died. And he was the one that, you know, he knew so much about to take pictures. And I was like, I want to learn from you. I want to be able to learn so much from you. And then he's gone. And it was one of like the worst things that could have happened to me, because I could learn so much from him. And now he's gone. So I know what Hazel was going through, and it still hurts. That's kind of like one of the reasons why I can't read the book again, because it was so sad. And again, I cried like a baby, and it was like 2 a.m. My sister was in the same room as me as I'm crying, and she's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, you wouldn't understand. You would not understand what I'm going through. She's not a big reader like I am, but still, she would not understand the emotional trauma that was put forth. So I eventually gave my copy of the book to my English teacher, because I'm like, I can't read this anymore, so here you go. And then other people were like, is this book good? Because they heard so much about it, and the movie was coming out, and I was like, yes, read it. And then they come back to me after they've read it, and they're like, you suck. But it hit so many people on a personal level that, you know, one girl came to me, she was like, I was crying so hard, and I'm like, I know. As far as a rating goes, I would give it a 5 out of 5, because it is just awesome. You know, heck, I'll even give it a 6 out of 5, because it is that awesome. So I give a major shout out to John Green for writing such an amazing book. Please go read it if you haven't read it yet. Go read his other books, you know, Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns, An Abundance of Catherines. Go read them, because it's different stories and they're different characters on different levels, and it's just so good. And if you didn't know this already, John Green has his own YouTube channel with his brother, Hank Green. They're called the Vlog Brothers. They make some pretty awesome videos. They also do Crash Course, which is highly educational. They are very, very smart. Go check them out. Go subscribe. Go do whatever. That's about it for the second video. It's very sad. My next video will probably be just as sad. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you have any suggestions on the next book that I should do, or a movie that's coming up, or a TV show, music, whatever you guys want, please comment down below, and have a nice day. Bye.